Okay, I am going live again. Oh, hold on. Let's see. Live. I am live. And I am live on Instagram, and I am live on Facebook, and I am live on YouTube again today. And I'm coming to you live at the top of every hour. To talk about the orgasm revolution. And I am so excited to be joining you today. This is my cat, Chloe, and she is helping me to kick off the revolution. Today is the first day of the revolution, and it is going to be an ongoing revolution that we can join, that anyone can join. And it's basically bringing awareness to the orgasm gap. And the reason why that's important is because, women are not getting their needs met sexually like men are. And so there exists what is called an orgasm gap, where 95% of men are getting their needs met sexually in coupled penetrative sex, and only 65% of women are getting their needs met in coupled penetrative sex. And so there exists a big gap. And it's important for people to understand why that gap exists. And there's a lot of different reasons why the gap exists. I would love to know if you have any comments along the way. I can share your comments with everyone else. So please be sure to comment. I'm on Instagram and Facebook right now, on my Facebook page, my Please Me Facebook page, and I'm on Instagram. Hey, Ivana, I see your comment. I'm so excited to have Ivana join on Instagram. She said hello, and for some reason I thought I was going to be able to see everyone's comments here in the one place that I'm streaming from, which is called StreamYard. So I'm able to stream on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube simultaneously, which is super awesome and exciting. And I'm doing that right now. I am live on all three, and I am talking about the orgasm revolution. And the orgasm revolution starts today, but it is an ongoing revolution. And I'm bringing awareness to the orgasm gap. And I'm calling for orgasm equality, okay? So if you want to join the revolution, go to pleaseme.online. And what you will find at pleaseme.online is the place to buy your t-shirt. Okay. And so you want to join the orgasm revolution. And first thing you want to do is you want to go to pleaseme.online. Okay. And that's my website. And you'll have to accept if you're 18 or over, because my website is for mature audiences. And then you got to go to the products tab and check out the products that I have on there. And the first product you will see is my Orgasm Equality t-shirt. And you got to get one of these for the Orgasm Revolution. Once you've purchased your t-shirt, you'll have to make sure that you change the setting to PG-13, that you're accepting the PG-13 rating, because my t-shirt is a PG-13 rating. So you have to accept that you can view PG-13 items. And once you do that, you'll be able to purchase the t-shirt. And then what you want to do once you've done that is once you get it, you're going to take a picture of yourself wearing your t-shirt and post it on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever social media you have. You can even create a video if you want for TikTok or whatever you want, and post it on any of your social media, and then tag me, and I will add it to my page, and we're going to see how many people join this revolution, and it is going to be so amazing. I'm sure so many people from hopefully all around the world are going to be joining the revolution. And, so it's going to be super exciting to see where people are joining me from. So tell me where you're joining me from if you're here listening. I would love to know. Okay, and I have Trice joining me now. Hi, Trice. Does anybody have any questions? Feel free to throw in a question. I am here to answer your questions and to just have a dialogue about, the orgasm gap. And so please feel free to ask any questions. So once you've gone to pleaseme.online and you've purchased your t-shirt, your orgasm equality t-shirt, you can change it like I did. I cut mine. I made a little boat neck with mine, and I changed my t-shirt a bit. But you can, do whatever you want to your t-shirt, but make sure that the orgasm equality shows, and take a picture of it. And, take a picture and then post it on social media, and you will have joined the revolution. And, so you want to post a picture of yourself wearing it, and then you want to tag me on social media. On Instagram, I am the Please Me by Eve Creations. That is my Instagram handle, with a dot between each word. And then on Facebook, I'm Please Me. And on YouTube, I'm Please Me. And so please reach out and say hello. And I would absolutely love to listen to, anything that you have to say. If you want to call me, when I'm not live today, I'll be live on the OWL app. If you're not familiar with the OWL app, it is an app where you can talk to different professionals about different topics. And I am on the OWL app, and you can reach me on there off and on throughout the day today. And really any day, I am on there live at least a couple of hours every day. I set my timer on to be live so that I can take calls and questions from, anybody who wants to talk to me about sexual health or any other, topic that you want to talk about. So, reach out to me on the OWL app. My code is EH576472. And with that code, you will get a $10 credit so that you can use the app. And it's a really super cool app. So I definitely suggest that you check that out. Make sure to use my code EH576472, and you will get $10 free to use the app, which is super cool. So please make sure that you are, reaching out and saying hello. So I am bringing awareness today to the orgasm gap. And the orgasm gap is an unsavory fact. And I like to talk about it constantly, okay? Because I want to help people to bridge that gap for themselves. And, when men are in coupled penetrative sex, are getting their needs met at 95% of the time, but the women are only getting their needs met at 65% of the time, there exists a very big gap. And this orgasm gap is actually seen in all heteronormative relationships, whether it be hookups all the way through marriage. And even in marriage, the orgasm gap exists, and it's a problem. And I think that it's something that can be changed, but the only way that it can be changed is through education and communication and awareness. And so that's what the Orgasm Revolution is all about. It's about bringing awareness to this problem so that we can change it one person at a time. And so that's why I'm here today with you live, and I'm so happy that you have joined me today. I'm going to see if there's any questions on Instagram here, because I kind of have to toggle back and forth. So how I'm doing great today. Thank you so much for asking, Trice. How are you today? I'm happy to hear from you. I'm going to check and see if there are any questions over here on Facebook or YouTube. And I am connected on all three. So please feel free to reach out and say hello. Don't be shy. Okay. So, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my podcast. My podcast is called Please Me. And the aim of the podcast is to destigmatize conversations about sex and sexual health by turning the sheets into our classroom. And so today we are, talking about a common topic that comes up quite often on the podcast. And I specifically talk about the orgasm gap almost every single podcast because I think it's such a big problem. And I think it's really an important one to address. Because if there's not education around what the orgasm gap is, people won't ever know to close their own orgasm gap. So I often ask questions of my guests, and I always ask them what their favorite sex position is. So that's something that I ask all of my guests, and most everyone is open to answering that question. And it's a lot of fun because then we talk about the position and why I think it's a great one to close the orgasm gap, if it's a good one to close the orgasm gap. And some positions are not the easiest to close that orgasm gap. So we discuss that as well. And it's always a lot of fun to listen to what we have to say about that. So let me just check and see if there's any. So, okay, so I have a question here. What are my thoughts on psychological side of intimacy with your partner, making sure that your partner is psychologically around? Mind, foreplay. Well, I am going to copy and paste this because for some reason, my questions are not coming up here in my comment section here. So I am going to go ahead and post this question that was from Instagram. So what are my thoughts on the psychological side of intimacy with your partner, making sure that your partner is psychologically around? So your mind foreplay, right? So I love this question because I think it's very important to have, to be present and in the moment. And, I talk about that in a lot of episodes, being present and in the moment, in order to really be able to focus fully on, what you're doing sexually. And a lot of times, when one partner is ready and the other partner is not ready mentally, you're going to have a discrepancy in sexual pleasure. So really trying to hone in on a time when both partners can be mentally focused on physical pleasure is going to really help to close that orgasm gap. And so knowing the best time for you that you are, going to be most in the mood, to have less distractions, because a lot of times when we have distractions, our mind is really not focused on the moment and on being in your body because you're thinking about, all of the different things that you have to do that day and whatever that may be for you. So, really trying to hone in on a time that both you and your partner, sometimes you even have to schedule that time, so that you can both be present and in the moment, mentally. So absolutely, because the biggest sexual organ in our body is our brain, right? And if we are not mentally in the right headspace, it's going to be really, really hard to enjoy yourself 100%. So thank you so much, Trice, for that question. And please continue to ask more questions, because, the more, people that are engaging with me, the more people are going to be able to listen to this and, be a part of it. So please, ask away and, have a dialogue with me. I'm here to share and to talk with you. And so continue to ask those questions. So I talked a lot with this past week. I was talking with Sarah Webb. She was just on the show this past week. Her episode was released. And she was an incredible guest. And she talked about coming out and how she, was married to a man, and how how when she got pregnant, she has this really incredible story. But when she got pregnant, she stopped drinking alcohol and realized that she couldn't have sex with her husband anymore. She just had no desire. And she realized that she was using alcohol to mask her desires to be with a woman as opposed to a man. And this sort of started her journey towards, moving forward towards divorcing him and to finding her own, living her own authentic life. And it was a very powerful story. I definitely recommend that you go back and listen to that one. That was a really great episode. And, we talk all about her story and how she is now helping people to cope with heartbreak. Sometimes that's from divorce or other breakups, and she helps the LGBTQ community specifically, and, others as well. But she focuses and hones in on the LGBTQ community and coaches on heartache, on heartbreak, on resilience, and how getting over, these relationships and moving on from them, how you can do that. And so she was a wealth of information, and she had such a very interesting story. So definitely go back and check out that episode. Lexi Silver was on the week before. That's the second time she's been on the show. I'm in my second season now. And I'm, this week I will be releasing an episode that's season 2, episode 10. So I will be, halfway through my season this week on Valentine's Day, which is really exciting. And so it's going to be a really awesome episode. Demi Wild is on this week. He's going to be incredible. He's an incredible guest. And he had a lot of really interesting things to talk about. And he has another podcast of his own, and he talks about dating nightmares. And that's what his podcast is about. And he also has a YouTube channel with tons of informative things about sexuality. And we talked about revenge porn. And revenge porn is really a major problem. And, I had never really understood exactly what it was. And when he explained it, I was like, oh, wow. Yes, this is a very big problem. And, a lot of times now with, everyone having cell phones, people like to take pictures and sometimes do videos while they're having sex. And there exists a whole genre of porn called revenge porn. And there's actual sites dedicated to it where people are taking their pictures and their videos from partners that they've broken up with. And out of revenge, they're posting these videos and pictures on these revenge porn sites. And that is a crime. It is a serious crime. And so I just, tell everybody out there that's listening to really be careful with who you share that type of, media with, because you don't want it to turn around and, bite you later on down the road. So definitely, fun to take videos and to watch yourself in action, but just be careful because revenge porn is real, and there are actual sites that that really, take advantage of people and their vulnerability. So just knowing and being aware of the possibility of that is something that I feel like everybody should really know about, because you don't want to, be the bearer of something like that happening to you. So so that was a really interesting conversation, and that episode will be released this Wednesday with Demi Wild. And some other amazing conversations that I've had with other people this season. I spoke with Adriana Grayson, and she is just so much fun. And she is Peacock Mama TV on Instagram, and she is always talking about what herbs she uses to help her husband get that really strong erection, and how she uses herbs to help herself, stay wet. And she has all sorts of different concoctions that she creates, and she sells, her herbs online. So I definitely encourage you to listen to episode 2. Episode 2 was so much fun, and that was Adrienne Grayson talking to me about all of the herbs she uses to keep her sex life, really hot and spicy. And she's married and she's got a bunch of kids, and she's a busy lady, but she really focuses on her intimacy, because intimacy brings couples pleasure and brings them closer, and really is the glue to a lot of relationships. So if you are not having, strong, intimate time with your partner and you want to, there is help for you. And there are people that you can reach out to, me included. I do sexual health, and I treat the pelvic floor in my physical therapy practice. That is my profession. I also do health coaching, and I would love to talk to you about any issues that you have and any way that I can help. And, I speak to a lot of different types of coaches. I've spoken this season alone. I've spoken to Julieta Chiara. Julieta is a kink and BDSM and Shibari expert, and she's incredible, and she does a lot of coaching in those realms. I've spoken to Lexi Silver, and she does a lot of coaching in the ethical non-monogamy world and the swingers world, helping people to, open up those conversations when they want to open up their relationships. And she does a lot of coaching. She specializes in newbies. And so that's another great person to reach out to. I had Ann Bell on, and Ann also helps women, and especially women that are entering menopause, to keep that sexual health and the, the ability to have enjoyable sex throughout our whole lives. And, women will spend 1/3 of their lives in menopause. That is just unbelievable to me. It is huge. And if we are not, conscious about, keeping that sex life going, it can wane, because a lot of times hormonally, we start to lose interest in sexuality, and it doesn't have to be that way. You can feel just as juicy and just as, sexy, during menopause as you do any other time in your life. And there is treatment if you are having issues. So make sure that you listen to that episode. That was episode 6 with Ann Bell. I spoke with Rachel Lavin, and she was amazing too. And she does coaching around, women that's not what I'm trying to say. She does coaching around women trying to, have that body positivity, and no matter what size you are, you deserve pleasure. And so we talk a lot about that, and about, getting that big clit energy or that confidence in yourself, so that you can really feel sexually liberated in that way. And so that was an amazing episode as well. And so I also spoke with Edward Miskey, and that was a super interesting episode too. I'm just going to check and see if I have any questions before. Okay, hold on. Yes. Okay, so I'm going to just cut and paste this question here. So I have another question from Instagram. And I am going to go ahead and put it up here so that you can see it. All right. And so the question is, what are your thoughts on the site? Oh, sorry, that's the same one we did before. This is the one I want. Here we go. So the question is, what are the health benefits as well as the sexual benefits of acoustic shock wave treatment? Okay, so acoustic wave therapy is a treatment that I do in my physical therapy practice. And what it does is it opens up the blockages in our blood vessels. And if you know anything about heart disease, you know that the heart and the blood vessels get filled with plaque. And when you have high cholesterol, you have a higher propensity to have the blood vessels blocked with plaque. And, if a blood vessel becomes completely blocked with plaque, you end up having to have a bypass surgery, a heart surgery, and it's very serious. But before you have that heart surgery or that heart condition, oftentimes men will have symptoms of erectile dysfunction. And erectile dysfunction is often a precursor to heart disease. And what you'll find is that you will have decrease in, quote unquote, morning wood, which is a completely natural phenomenon. You'll have a decrease in spontaneous erections, which is also a natural phenomenon. If you think about when you were a teenager and you had perfect blood vessels and you had, erections like on and off throughout the day, that's normal function. And so, as that function decreases, men start to have issues with their erectile function and getting the blood flow to the penis. And so what the acoustic wave therapy does is it unblocks the blockages in your penis. And it's a treatment that I do. It's like a wand that I have that goes over the tissue of the penis and surrounding area. And it unblocks the blockages so that more blood flow can flow to the penis and surrounding area. And that's how the penis gets erect. And over time, when you've had multiple treatments, and I recommend 6 treatments initially to start for men for prevention. So after you've had multiple treatments, it also increases capillary formation. And capillaries are the smallest blood vessels in your body. And so if you're forming more blood vessels, you're going to have over time more blood flow. So the sexual benefits would be that you would have a harder, bigger erection, right? So that you could have sex. And sometimes, when there's a lot of blockages, you are not able to even get hard in order to penetrate. So it's super important to keep that blood flow going. And so for, someone with mild ED, I would recommend 10 visits. And for moderate ED, I would recommend 14 visits. And for severe ED, I would recommend 18 visits. And, we discussed that the first session that you come in, and we do an evaluation to see where you are along the lines. And then we do the treatment. And I talk about it in a very holistic way. We talk about nutrition. We talk about other things that you can do to help that blood flow. Because without blood flow, you aren't going to get an erection. And without an erection, you can't penetrate to have sex. So it's super, super important to have that blood flow. And so that's for women. I mean, that's for men, but for women also need blood flow. And oftentimes as women get older, they have a decrease in blood flow as well. And so they might experience decreased vaginal sensitivity and dryness. And I'm getting attacked by my cat here. She doesn't understand why I'm talking by myself in the room, with no one else around. So she's kind of confused. But she and my dog are here too, and they're keeping me company while I talk to you guys about acoustic wave therapy. So for women will have a decrease in blood flow, and the way it will show in women's bodies is with decreased sensitivity while they're having sex, and decreased and dryness. And the reason why dryness is an issue is because when the body's not getting enough blood flow, the blood flow is what causes the wetness, because the blood seeps through the vaginal walls, and the plasma of the blood seeps through the vaginal walls. And that's one way that women get wet. So you need blood flow in order to get wet. So that is how it would help a woman. The acoustic wave shock therapy is by increasing blood flow so you can get wet. And just like a man needs an erection, a woman also needs to be engorged in order to be ready for sexual activity, especially penetration. So really getting that blood flow to the tissue, to the clitoris, is going to help your partner to get closer to closing that orgasm gap. So I'm going to see if there's any other questions here. Nice. Hi, Demi. I see Demi's here. Demi's episode, like I said, is going to be coming out this Wednesday, and it's going to be a really awesome one. So I can't wait to, share that with you guys. Let me know if you have any other questions. So I am so excited to be here with you today. And I'm just going to mention that, on episode, let's see, it was episode number 8, I had Lexi Silver on. She is the media director of SDC.com. She's also an amazing author and writer, and she writes many articles, many of which are on SDC.com. She's an incredible educator, and her specialty is helping couples and people who want to enter into the ethical non-monogamy lifestyle, and she coaches them. And she's a great resource. And I have this promo code 37340 for a free trial on SDC.com. So if you have any interest in that lifestyle or in just checking out what's on the website, and I have to say the website is filled with educational materials and articles, and all of my podcasts are on that website as well. It is just chock full of really amazing education around sexuality and sexual health. So I definitely recommend that you go to SDC.com and use the promo code 37340 to check out the site. And, maybe you'll want to join. It really is a great website to meet other open-minded, modern people, that are modern in modern relationships or want modern relationships. So I will definitely, I would love to have you, on there, and, look for me there. I have a profile called Please Me. It's a professional profile, and I often do educational things like webinars on the site. So check it out and reach out to me and say hi if you do join. I'm going to mention too that when I am not on, I'm just going to check Instagram again and see. Okay. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to talk about the OWL app now, because this is another place to reach me. You can reach me at pleaseme.online to join the Orgasm Revolution. And you'll need to get your t-shirt from pleaseme.online and post pictures of yourself in the t-shirt, and then tag me. And I can't wait to see all of the amazing people that are going to join from all over the world. So don't forget to go to pleaseme.online and join the revolution. And if you want to talk to me directly, you can reach out to me on pleaseme.online and I'll get an email. But if you want to reach me directly and you want to speak to me, you can go to the OWL app. And OWL is an app that you can get on your phone. It's super cool. And there are many different types of professionals on there. And I am one of the professionals on the app. And you can, reach out to me and speak to me directly there. And it is just a really cool app to be able to talk to people that you normally probably wouldn't have access to, right? And so I am on that app, and you can ask me any questions that you want. So when I'm off of streaming today, I will be on OWL. So make sure that you reach out on OWL as well and say hi. So today I am talking about the orgasm gap. My name is Eve. I am the host of the Please Me podcast. And the Please Me podcast is in its second season. I had 20 episodes, season 1, and now I'm in season 2. And this Wednesday, I will be releasing my 10th episode with Demi Wild. And I've had amazing people on my on my podcast this season so far. I've had Mizzy Bender, who is just so much fun. She has a great big social media following, and she talks about the swinger lifestyle, and she hosts swinger parties all up and down the East Coast. And she has her own boutique, and she's just an incredible resource. So she was on this season. And then I had Adriana Grayson, who I already spoke to you about, who, talks about herbs and how she uses the herbs to help enhance her and her husband's sex life and their sexual function. So that was an amazing one. I had Edward Miskey on, and he wrote a book about his experience with cancer. And he talks about how he used sexuality as a coping mechanism during his cancer treatments because he felt so out of control during that time. And this was one way to really kind of have some control over his life. And so I thought that was so interesting and such an interesting story. And I definitely recommend that you go and listen to that one again. I also had Julieta Chiara on, and she is a kink and BDSM and Shibari expert. And she ties people up for a living. And she can teach you how to do the same. And she's just incredible. And she, has courses and does a whole lot of different things. So definitely watch that episode. That was a really fun one. We talked about whether men are growers or showers and what's the difference. And, we talked about, penis size and if women really truly care about penis size. And that was a conversation that we had, and that was a lot of fun. So definitely go back and listen to that episode. I also talked with Rachel Levin, and Rachel wrote a book that was about, finding yourself and being confident in who you are, and really embracing that body positivity, because, no matter what size you are, you deserve love. And no matter what size you are, you deserve pleasure. And so she talked about her journey, with her ups and downs, and with different, diets that she had done throughout the years, and how, no matter what size she was not happy. Even when she, reached her like quote unquote goal weight, then she, started having, other experiences that were not necessarily the best for her. And so it was just an interesting story and journey. And so she really encourages people to love yourself no matter what size you find your body in. And no matter what, our bodies are wired for pleasure, so, really trying to hone in on the enjoyment of that is so key. So Ann Bell also was on the show, and she talked about menopause, and how, we can be just as, have just as much pleasure in those years as we do when we're much younger. And, as women get older, they learn much more about what they like and don't like. So actually, getting all of that information, you could really, reach your prime much later in life than you even expected. Once you have all of that knowledge and you're incorporating all of that, and 1/3 of our lives as women are spent in menopause, which I find to be an incredible statistic. And so we really need to, think about that time in our life and how we're going to keep it juicy, And so she really talks a lot about that in that episode. That was episode number 6. And then the next episode with Nate Zalesnik was really interesting. He talks about out of body experiences, and it was a very interesting episode. And he talks about being present during sexual activity, because when you're fully present in your body, you can fully experience all of the sensations that your body is, allowing you to feel. And when you're not present, you're not able to experience that as acutely. So we talk about breathing and breathing exercises that can help you to bring you to the present moment and to really connect you with your body. So that was an interesting episode as well. And then I had Lexi Silver on, who I talked about earlier, and she's, the media director of STC.com. She helps couples and, even singles, people who want to enter into the ethical non-monogamy lifestyle, and she helps them to do that. So she really, hones in on newbies. However, she is an accomplished writer, and she writes lots of articles that are incredible. And if you go to STC.com, you'll be able to see many of her articles there. And she is just a wealth of information and so much fun to talk to. That was a really fun episode. And then this week I had Sarah Webb on, and Sarah talked about, her experience with coming out after being married to a man, and how, she, decided to stop drinking alcohol. And when she stopped drinking alcohol, she realized, this was during her pregnancy, she stopped drinking alcohol, and she realized that she really didn't want to have sex with her husband anymore, and realized that she needed to come out. And that was a very interesting conversation for those in the LGBTQ community. Amazing conversation with her about really finding her authentic self. And she does coaching as well. And she helps people get over heartbreak. And she targets the LGBTQ community because, breakups are actually even higher in that community. So that was an amazing conversation as well. And I have so many more coming up that haven't been released yet, but they're all going to be just so incredible. I find that every week that each one is a little gem. And I'm always so excited to get it out there and get it in front of you, the audience, so that you can really listen and hear all of these amazing people, share their experiences with us. So I'm going to check one more time and see if there's any other questions. Feel free to ask a question. Don't be shy. And so I want to invite you to join the Orgasm Revolution. Join the Orgasm Revolution, okay? What does it mean to join the Orgasm Revolution? Well, today is day one of the Orgasm Revolution, but this is going to be ongoing. And I hope that I see people from all over the world join. And I know that people are listening to my podcast from all over the world. And I hope that we get people joining from all over the world, joining the Orgasm Revolution to bring awareness to the orgasm gap. And so if you want to join the revolution, make sure that you, go to pleaseme.online, and that's where you're going to find the Orgasm Equality t-shirt, okay? And you just have to make sure that when you go to my website, you click that you are over 18, because my website is for mature audiences. And once you do that, you can go to my products page, and you can click on the products, and the first product that you will see will be the Orgasm Equality t-shirt. And you can join the revolution by purchasing one of those. And then when you get it, post pictures of yourself on any social media and tag me, and I will repost and welcome you to the revolution. And I cannot wait to welcome so many people. And I know that a lot of my previous guests are joining the revolution. The person that is going to be released this week on Valentine's Day, actually, Demi Wild, has joined the revolution, and he's been posting on his own social media about the orgasm gap and about hookup culture, and how there really exists a huge orgasm gap when it comes to hookups. But I will say that the orgasm gap exists from hookups all the way to marriage. Even in marriage, there is an orgasm gap. And so for me, creating education and awareness around this problem is key, so that each one of us, individually can close our own orgasm gap. So he has been amazing in talking about the orgasm gap on his Instagram page and on his social media. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he posts today. I have quite a few other people joining me from, the the podcasts that have been on, this year or this season. And Hashandra was on earlier today. She said hi earlier on Instagram, and she's going to be coming up in April 10th. And she talks about teen pregnancy and how that affected her life. And I think that was such a powerful conversation because, we're not getting the education that we need to our children, to our teenagers, right? And, children and teenagers are having sex younger and younger. And unless we give them the proper education, this is going to continue to be a problem. And, teenage pregnancy has been on the rise. So this was a super amazing conversation. And I can't wait to share that episode with you coming up in April. And let's see. Trying to see if anybody else jumped on today. So I'm going to say goodbye for now, and I will be back again. It's almost 4:00, so I've been talking for quite a while, but I will jump back on. I'm going to jump on my OWL app now. So if you want to jump on OWL and call me, I would love to have that conversation with you. So make sure that you, jump on OWL and use the code EH576472. And we can chat on there. So can't wait to see you guys later on live, and also reach out to me on the OWL app if you want to call me. Okay. All right. Well, see you soon, and join the revolution.